Hi everybody, this is Hans York. Um, you know, Everything that is worth pursuing has three stages to it. A beginning, a middle, and an end. And my observation is that over the years that I, spent with other creatives on the road and in the studio, most of them are really good either at the beginning or in the middle. A lot of them are not really good finishers. And, most of the time it's just like that. We are usually really good in one and okay in the second, and we are weak in the third. And it's important to know that and to realize which is the one that, is for you, the part where you feel, I'm not really good at that. So what can be done? So what does that have to do with production music? Well, today I want to talk about misconception. Especially in the beginning of the career, a lot of composers and producers think that when they finish the cue, right, that's the end. Well, it's not. It's the middle. The end is when you finally deliver your mixes and your stems to the library. And that is sometimes hard. In fact, I've never met any other producer that really likes doing deliveries. Everybody feels like, oh God, I worked, on this cue, and now I have to do all this additional work. It feels like additional work, right? But it is not. It is really the finishing touches and the finishing of your work. And so I want to point out some pitfalls that can happen, and where you have to have some extra focus and attention. Every library wants something different from the file format, their naming, the mixes they want. Some want stems, some don't. Some want it mastered, some don't. So there's a lot of different things to consider. Let's look at the naming. In the beginning, it means something that they have it in a certain way. And all of them so far that I'm working with, they have a certain concept of what they want. And it's different from each library to each library. And so, for example, like a dash is a dash and not an underscore. If they want an extra space between, full mix and having two spaces before the word full, so that particular file always shows up on top, that's what they want. That's what you have to give them, right? So you have to pay attention to that really clearly. Let's look at the alt mixes and the cut downs. A 30-second mix is 30 seconds long, not 29, not 31. So you have to be really clear when you do it to make it exact. They want 30 seconds, they get 30 seconds. What caused me some trouble in the beginning were underscores, right? Because when I listened to my underscores, I always, like in the very end, there was all of a sudden like this synth melody or the clarinet or whatever was blaring in, and I was like, oh man, I forgot to mute that one. Either it was not in the group, in the instrument group, or I just forgot to push the mute button. And if I would not have listened to it all the way through, I would not have caught it. Or stems, sometimes it's the opposite way. You have a drum stem, and all of a sudden, like at the very end, something comes in. That's also then a bass note or whatever it is. So this is really a territory where you have to be very clear and very focused when you do it. This is work. That part is actually work. Then when it comes to some libraries want for them, they want it mastered to say to accept it or not, and then the deliveries, they want it unmastered. And so it's easy to forget to turn off your limiter or your compressor or something like that. So in that phase, it's really important to know which part it is that you're good at, that you're okay at, and where you have troubles, and when you realize what it is, which part it is, then you can support it. And I would recommend for all of you, double and triple check your deliveries, the stems and your mixes. Do it, at least in the beginning, for the first couple of years. I know it's additional work and sometimes it just can take forever, and it's especially hard when you worked on an album and then 3 months later you place it somewhere and then you have to go back and do everything. First of all, you go back and then you think like, oh, what did I do there? You want to remix everything, but no, that album is accepted the way it is, so deliver that. And so there can be pitfalls there, and we are all humans, so mistakes are made. But there are things that you can avoid with an extra focus once you know that that's the part where you are a little weaker, right? All right, I hope that helps, and I wish you all wonderful holidays and a great start into 2023. I can't believe how fast this year has passed, so let's see what next year is going to bring, okay? Take good care.